but I'll explain that later on in one of our sessions. Then if you want to go for intervention, meaning now you would like to answer the question, well, was there an impact? Did this intervention work? Now there's a little bit of a difference. Oh, I forgot to say this. Yes, in survey research you can either go for cross-sectional or longitudinal. So cross-sectional means that you only collect data at one point in time. Don't collect data over a long period of time or multiple intakes. Cross-sectional. Try and think of cross-sectional as when you get your speeding ticket, that snapshot telling you how fast you were traveling. Unfortunately, that snapshot does not tell you why you were traveling so fast. That's why you need longitudinal. Okay, so longitudinal is you take multiple measures over time. So most likely multiple measures before the intervention to get a baseline. Get the intervention, multiple measures after that intervention. And then you compare across. So longitudinal becomes important for intervention, either survey or quasi-experimental research designs. Yes? Okay. So the reason why I did not put in longitudinal for the others for descriptive, yes, it's possible, but longitudinal becomes an issue of impact, meaning did a change occur? So let's say, for example, you want to describe a change happening, but then your ultimate aim will in any case be longitudinal. So description will be part of it, but then you will say, but my aim is to determine did this intervention lead to a change? So now you will describe what happened before the intervention, and you will describe what happened after the intervention. Yes, it's possible. But the ultimate aim is impact, not the description. But let's say, for example, if you use the term development, then you will have to say in your research problem, well, what are you describing? Are you describing the intervention, or what is it that you will describe? So if there is an intervention, then it's highly likely there will be some kind of longitudinal, or at least pre-test, post-test measure should be in this. But try and think of it like this. Yes, you may have multiple research questions, but what is the ultimate aim of your study? If your ultimate aim of your study is to determine the impact of an intervention, then some of your sub-problems will be description, explanation, and prediction. Yes. But they all support the ultimate aim of intervention. When you want to compare, did a change occur? Then some of the techniques will be what we call the paired comparison t-test. So you have someone's before measure and you've got the same individual's post-test measure. You compare whether or not there are differences. There is an interesting term, experimental mortality. It's not due to the inappropriate intervention. Experimental mortality focuses on, you may have people that started out participating in your intervention, but for some reason they left after the intervention. So now you've got no post-test measure. Now you can't compare their results. So just bear that in mind with longitudinal research. And yes, you can also use structural equation modeling to see whether or not change occurred over time. Okay, questions? Yep.
You spoke about the multiple tests for the pre and the post.
Yes.
If there's a case where there's only one test, would that then be that the research would not be able to be done? Does it have to be multiple, and how soon after each other?
Okay, so no, it can still be done.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no problem. The issue is not multiple measures before and multiple measures after. But it's more to do with, do you take measures over time? So before intervention, after. But it's more for being fancy if you want to take multiple measures, especially if you want to ensure that there's no other variables influencing something happening before and just to get a baseline measure. But there's nothing wrong with having a single pre-test measure and a single post-test measure.